If you've been watching basketball over the last, say, 10 years, you know the game looks completely different. It's faster, it's way more spread out, and it seems like literally everyone on the court can shoot. Well, a huge piece of that puzzle, a massive part of that transformation, comes down to one powerful idea: the five-out offense. And we're going to break down exactly what that is.
I mean, you've probably thought this, right? You're watching a game and all 10 players are just out there, spread around the perimeter. It's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of modern basketball. And no, you're not seeing things. The days of having two big guys clogging up the paint, well, those days are fading, and fading fast. Today, we're going to get into exactly why.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, what even is the five out? Then we'll dive into the pros and the cons. We'll look at the specific rules of spacing that make it all work, see it in action, and finally we'll talk about why this is really the future of the game.
Okay, first things first, and if you take one thing away, let it be this. Five out is not a specific play. You don't call five out from the sideline. Think of it as a philosophy, a starting point. It's the formation you get into before the action even starts. And that's a really, really important distinction.
So what does that actually mean? It's simple, really. All five of your players are spaced out around the three-point line. That's it. But by doing that, by pulling everyone out of the paint, you are fundamentally changing the entire geometry of the court. The area under the basket, which used to be the most crowded spot on the floor, is now just wide open space. And that's the beauty of it. This one simple alignment is the foundation for dozens of different offenses. It can be something as basic as pass and cut, or it can be the starting point for something as complex as the dribble drive motion that a coach like John Calipari has used to dominate the game. So if it's just a formation, why is it all the rage? Why is everyone running it? Well, like any good strategy, it has some massive game-changing advantages, but it also comes with some pretty big challenges. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because you can see the trade-offs right here. The biggest benefit is just staring you in the face. With no defenders camping near the rim, the paint is just open. It's an invitation for aggressive drives and cuts to the hoop. And this setup is perfect for what we call positionless basketball, where all five players are threats. But look at the other side. Because everyone's spread out, the driving lanes are these single gaps, which can be easier for a defender to close down. And this is the big one. It absolutely demands that all five players can dribble, pass, and shoot. And maybe even more important, they have to think the game at a high level. There is simply nowhere for a less skilled player to hide in this offense. For the five out to actually work, it's not enough to just stand around the arc and admire your spacing. No, players have to follow a pretty strict set of rules. It's all about creating space, keeping that space, and then knowing how to attack it. This might be my favorite coaching analogy ever for this offense. The lava is that no man's land, right? That long two-point area. If you catch the ball there, you've just shrunk the court for everybody. You've brought your defender closer to help, and you've killed the spacing. The rule is simple. You either catch the ball to shoot a three, or you catch it at the rim for a layup. Stay out of the lava. And coaches take this idea even further with this concept of the four-point line. Now, no, it's not a real line on the court, it's all in your head. Players are taught to space themselves out even deeper, to imagine they're playing on an NBA court with the deeper three-point line. That extra 3 or 4 feet of spacing just stretches the defense to its absolute breaking point. It makes helping out on defense almost impossible. And the movement has to be relentless. Every single cut you make has to be a hard sprint to the rim, not some casual jog. You're trying to pull the defense with you. If a defender gets up on you and tries to deny you the ball, you don't fight them. You immediately cut back door right into all that beautiful open space. And this is what makes it all click. Your hard cut might not even get you the ball, but what it does do is pull your defender away, creating a massive driving lane for your teammate. It's totally unselfish, and it takes a really high basketball IQ. Okay, so we've got the formation, we've got the rules. Let's see how this thing actually looks in motion. We'll use a pretty common example called circle motion. All right, watch the flow here. The ball moves from the top of the key to the wing. That pass is the trigger. The player who passed the ball slashes hard through the lane. At the same time, the player from the corner makes what's called a butt cut right behind them, basically using the slasher as a moving screen. The slasher then continues across to set a screen for the player in the opposite corner. And here's the magic. Everyone just fills the empty spots, and boom, you're right back in your five-out formation, ready to run the whole thing again on the other side. It's constant flowing motion. So we've seen what it is, we've seen how it works, but why is this so important? What's the big deal? Why is this more than just the latest trend in basketball? So here's the key takeaway. The five-out offense isn't really the cause of basketball's evolution, it's the result of it. The whole analytics revolution proved how ridiculously valuable the three-point shot is. And as teams started prioritizing shooting, players had to become more versatile. So the five-out offense is just the natural conclusion. It's the perfect system for a team of five skilled players who can all be a threat from deep.
And, this might actually be its most important legacy. At the youth level, 5-out is like a developmental cheat code. You can no longer just stick your tallest kid under the basket and tell them to stay there. In this system, every single player, no matter how tall or small they are, is forced to learn how to handle the ball, how to make decisions on the perimeter, how to shoot, and how to cut. It builds complete basketball players from the ground up.
So this evolution on offense presents the ultimate challenge for the defense. I mean, when every player on the floor can shoot, drive, and pass, the old rules of defense just kind of break down. So the question we're left with is, what's next? What's the defensive counterpunch going to be for this ultimate spacing puzzle? That's the chess match we all get to watch unfold.